Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Darati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri युतपतकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागनरघुनाथन्वितं तं सजीवं सर्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते कुपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासारि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे शृण्वतं स्वकथा नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् शृण्वतं स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनार्यन्दस्तो भद्राणि विदुनुति सुहृत्सतां नस्तप्रायस्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the person of God and Narayana, unto Naranarayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Sri Krishna, the person of God, who is the Paramatma super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtues when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. The loving service unto the person of God who is praised with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Gaura Shakti Prabhu Tandarpanam Jai Śrīla Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances of Gaura Śrīla Prabhupada.
Where is everyone, Prabhu? Are we too late or are we too early? Which one?
Yeah, sometimes it's like this, Prabhu.
So,
yeah, even the Japa session sometimes, it's
yes,
like this. That's why those who are senior, they should at least sometimes be there,
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
I think they will join later in some minutes. Usually when we
Yes,
start reading, then the Bhagavatam attracts them.
Yeah, I also noticed this.
Yes, Prabhu. Are you driving or can you read?
You can read first, then
Yes.
I will
Okay.
read after. We can begin.
Okay, text number 24. Oh, what was this tune? सदेवदेवो भगवान् प्रतीक्षतां कलेवरं यावदिदं हिनो मयाहम् प्रसन्नः सारुणलोचनोल्लसन् Mukhambujo Dhyanapataschaturbuja. Saha, he, Deva, the Supreme Lord of the Lords. Bhagavan, the person of Godhead. Pratikshatam, may kindly wait. Kalevaram, body. Yavat, as long as. Idam, this material body. Me, may quit. Aham, I. Prasanna, cheerful. Hasa, smiling. Arunalochana, eyes red like the morning sun. Ullasat, beautifully decorated. Mukhambuja, Mukha the lotus flower of his face. Dhyana Bata, in the path of the meditation, in path of my meditation. Chaturbuja, the four-handed form of Narayana, the worshipful deity of Bhishma Deva. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Sure.
May my Lord, who is four-handed and whose beautifully decorated lotus face with eyes as red as the rising sun is smiling kindly await me at that moment when I quit this material body. Purport. Bhishma Deva knew well that Lord Krishna is the original Narayana. His worshipful deity was four-handed Narayana, but he knew that four-handed Narayana is a plenary expansion of Lord Krishna. Indirectly, he desired Lord Sri Krishna to manifest himself in his four-handed feature of Narayana. A Vaishnava is always humble in his behavior. Although it was 100% certain that Bhishma Dev was approaching Vaikuntha Dham just after leaving his material body, still as a humble Vaishnava, he desired to see the beautiful face of the Lord. For after quitting the present body, he might not be in position to see the Lord anymore. A Vaishnava is not puffed up, although the Lord guarantees his pure devotee entrance into his abode. Here Bhishma Dev says, as long as I do not quit this body. This means that the great general would quit the body by his own will. He was not being forced by the laws of nature. He was so powerful that he could stay in his body as long as he desired. He got this benediction from his father. He desired that the Lord stay before him in his four-handed Narayana feature, so that he might concentrate upon him and thus be in trance in that meditation. Then his mind might be sanctified with thinking of the Lord. Thus he did not mind wherever he might go. A pure devotee is never very anxious to go back to the kingdom of God. He entirely depends on the good will of the Lord. He is equally satisfied even if the Lord desires him to go to hell. The only desire that a pure devotee entertains is that he may always be in rapt attention with thinking of the lotus feet of the Lord, regardless. Bhishma Deva wanted this much only, that his mind be absorbed in thinking of the Lord and that he pass away thus. That is the highest ambition of a pure devotee. Text number 25. O Hare Krishna, Sridhar Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Text 25. Sutta uvacha yudhishthirastat akarnya shyayanam sharapanjare apricchad vividan dharman rishinam chanushrunvatam. Sutta uvacha, Sri Sutta Goswami said, Yudhishthira, King Yudhishthira, that akarnya, hearing, shayanam, lying down on, sharapanjare, on the bed of arrows, aprichat, asked, vividan, multifarious, dharman, duties, rishinam, of the rishis, cha and anushrinvatam, hearing after them. Translation. Sutta Goswami said, Maharaj Yudhishthira, after hearing Bhishma Dev speak in that appealing tone, asked him, in the presence of all the great rishis, about the essential principles of various religious duties. Purport. Bhishma Dev speaking in that appealing tone conceived Maharaj Yudhishthira, convinced Maharaj Yudhishthira that he was very soon passing away, And Maharaj Yudhishthira was inspired by Lord Sri Krishna to ask him of the principles of religion. Lord Sri Krishna inspired Maharaj Yudhishthira to ask Bhishma Dev in the presence of many great sages, indicating thereby that the Lord's devotee, like Bhishma Dev, although apparently living as a worldly man, is far superior to many great sages, even Vyasadev. Another point is that Bhishma Dev at the time was not only lying on the dead bed of arrows, but he was greatly aggrieved because of that state. One should not have asked him any question at that time. But Lord Sri Krishna wanted to prove that his pure devotee are always sound in body and mind by dint of spiritual enlightenment, and thus in any circumstances a spirit devotee of the spiritual devotee of the Lord is in the perfect order to speak of the right way of life. Yudhishthira also preferred to solve his problematic questions from Bhishma Dev rather than ask anyone else present there who was seemingly more learned than Bhishma Dev. This is all due to the arrangement of the great wheel carrier Lord Sri Krishna, who establishes the glories of his devotee. The father likes to see the son become more famous than himself. The Lord declares very emphatically that worship of his devotee is more valuable than the worship of the Lord himself. Text number 26. Purusha svabhava vihitan yatha varnam yatha sramam vairagyara gopad bibhyam amnato bayalakshanan. Purusha, the human being, svabhava, by his own acquired qualities, vihitan, prescribed, yatha, as it is, varnam, classification of castes, yatha, as it is, ashramam, orders of life, vairagya, detachment, raga, attachment, upadibhyam, out of such designations, amnata, systematically, ubaya, both, lakshanan, symptoms. Translation. At Maharaj Yudhishthira's inquiry, Bhishma Dev first of all defined all the classifications of caste and orders of life in terms of the individual's qualifications. Then he systematically in twofold divisions described counteraction by detachment and interaction by attachment. Purport. The conception of four castes and four orders of life as planned by the Lord himself, Bhagavad Gita 4.13, is to accelerate transcendental qualities of the individual person so that he may gradually realize his spiritual identification and thus act accordingly to get free from material bondage or conditional life. In almost all the Puranas, the subject matter is described in the same spirit, and so also in the Mahabharata, it is more elaborately described by Bhishma Dev in the Shanti Parva beginning from the 16th chapter. The Varnashram Dharma is prescribed for the civilized human being just to train him to successfully terminate human life. Self-realization is distinguished from the life of the lower animals engaged in eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. Bhishma Dev advised for all human beings 9 qualifications: not to become angry, not to lie, to equally distribute wealth, 4. to forgive, 5. to beget children only by one's legitimate wife, 6. to be pure in mind and hygiene. Okay, let's read them again. Bhishma Dev advised for all human beings 9 qualifications. 1. Not to become angry. 2. Oh, these are really nice. Not to lie. 3. To equally distribute wealth. 4. To forgive. 5. To beget children only by one's legitimate wife. 6. To be pure in mind and hygienic in body. 7. not to be inimical toward anyone. 8. To be simple. And 9. To support servants or subordinates. One cannot be called a civilized person without acquiring the above-mentioned preliminary qualities. Besides these, the Brahmanas, or the intelligent man, the administrative man, the mercantile community, and the laborer class must acquire special qualities in terms of occupational duties mentioned in all the Vedic scriptures. For the intelligent man, controlling the senses is the most essential qualification, which is the basis of morality. Sex indulgence, even with a legitimate wife, must also be controlled, and thereby family control will automatically follow. An intelligent man abuses his great qualification if he does not follow the Vedic way of life. This means he must seriously make a study of the Vedic literatures, especially of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and the Bhagavad Gita. For learning Vedic knowledge, for learning Vedic knowledge, one must approach a person who is 100% engaged in devotional service. He must not do the things which are forbidden in the Shastras. A person cannot be a teacher if he drinks or smokes. In the modern system of education, the teacher's academic qualification is taken into consideration without evaluation of his moral life. Therefore, the result of education is misuse of high intelligence in so many ways. The Kshatriyas, or the administrative class, is especially advised to give in charity and not to accept charity in any circumstances. Modern administrators raise subscriptions for some political functions, but never give in charity to the citizens in any state function. It is just a reverse in the injunctions of the Shastras. The administrative class must be well versed in the Shastras, but must not take to the profession of teachers. The administrators should never pretend to become non-violent and thereby go to hell. When Arjuna wanted to become a non-violent coward in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he was severely chastised by Lord Sri Krishna. The Lord degraded Arjuna at the time to the status of an uncivilized man for his avowed acceptance of the cult of non-violence. The administrative class must be personally trained in military education. Cowards should not be elevated to the presidential throne by dint of numerical votes only. The monarchs were all chivalrous personalities, and therefore monarchy should be maintained provided the monarch is regularly trained in the occupational duties of a king. In fighting, the king or the president should never return home without being hurt by the enemy. Oh, Krishna. Though they
This
were,
is finished.
yes, oh.
Yeah. This was the good time when the king was really a king, you know.
Yes, Prabhu. Now they take the first flight away as far as possible to the private island.
Yes. And they are fat like pigs, you know.
Yes, Prabhu. This is crazy. The so-called king of today never visits the warfield. He is very much expert in artificially encouraging the fighting strength in the hope of false national prestige. As soon as the administrative class is turned into a gang of mercantile and laborer men, the whole machinery of government becomes polluted. The Vaishyas, or the mercantile communities, are especially advised to protect the cows. Cow protection means increasing the milk productions, namely curd and butter. But now we cannot take curd. Oh, Krishna.
I knew
Only
you
one
will
month,
talk.
bro. Just 1 month.
Yes, so today in market I
Let,
was trying to see what can I take in the mornings because I cannot take the curd.
For some people, one month is like 1 year,
Yes,
without curd.
this is difficult.
So it actually makes one full. So
I need to make some porridge or something. Agriculture and distribution of the foodstuff are the primary duties of the mercantile community, backed by education in Vedic knowledge and trained to give in charity. As the Kshatriyas were given in charge of the protection of the citizens, Vaishyas were given the charge of the protection of animals. Animals are never meant to be killed. Killing of animals is a symptom of barbarian society. For a human being, agricultural produce, fruits, and milk are sufficient and compatible foodstuffs. Hmm. The human society should give more attention to animal protection. The productive energy of the laborer is misused when he is occupied by industrial enterprises. Industry of various types cannot produce the essential needs of man, namely rice, wheat, grains, milk, fruits, and vegetables. The production of machines and machine tools increase the artificial living fashion of a class of vested interest and keep thousands of men in starvation and unrest. This should not be the standard of civilization. Yes, Prabhu, I actually like the science of growing vegetables and others more than the science of creating some machine. It's more magical. When you put a seed, then you learn, and it's a big art because when you learn the secrets of how to cultivate something, you can create something like some big art things. Like you can create so huge fruits or like anything. You can even I've seen they can graft some trees. They can combine different species of trees into each other, and they grow like different types of fruit in one tree. There is so
Yes,
many things
yes.
we can do in
Mm,
agriculture,
it's true. Yeah.
and how the taste changes when you do something differently, and how there is like you can combine different types of plant, like of the same type of,
Same family. Yeah.
yeah,
The
you
same
can
species. Yeah.
create, you can breed them into like more tasty or more visually
Hmm.
appealing, or it's
Yes,
really
yes.
amazing science. So I think that's because it's not taught in schools. You're not taught how to grow something or how to produce something. Only how to create a machine or something like that. How to work a machine and how to create a machine.
There are some school that show you how to, the basic, For
Yes,
myself, when I was very young, they teach me how to, uh, you know, um, grow
hmm.
something, but it was simple thing, basic thing. Hmm?
Yes,
It
Prabhu.
depends of the country.
Yeah, yeah. Here there is not
Depend.
like that anymore. I think it used to
Yeah,
be more, but now it's not. Like
but
we have
Finland
little
is
cow,
is 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 a great. You have a like very big land. You can do a lot of things.
Yes, Prabhu. And here actually there is a lot of good farmland everywhere, and it's almost like free, but everyone is just moving to the cities. They are almost empty. It's only like forest, and everywhere is empty, and everybody's moving to the city, and they buy their food from the supermarket. It's crazy.
Oh,
And
yeah.
almost no one has seen a cow. The cows are kept somewhere away, far away. You cannot really see them. They are like inside. They keep them inside or in a like closed places. So I've never seen a cow other than like outside of car window. I've never seen a cow close by. So things like that.
Oh,
How to milk a cow, for example, that's not teach. That should things like that should be teach the children. I think don't even see the cows.
yeah, yeah, definitely. But it used to be to have cow, right? In the past.
Yes,
In the
Prabhu.
past.
Yeah,
Okay.
before
Mm.
it was like when everyone was living in countryside, but then they built the big cities, few big cities, and slowly people started to move, and Now it has almost changed completely that the countryside is empty and the cities start to be really full.
Yeah, yeah. This is the main problem, yes. It's true.
Yes, when this makes the kids become really violent and out of nature. Because, like yesterday, I saw the kids from window. I was seeing they were doing something. I heard they were talking. They found some little animal in the bush, and they were saying, "Oh, come look!" To each other, they were like, "Oh, come look! There is something." And immediately one of the kids say, "Should we throw a stone at him?" And they were like this. I was like, "No, what is this?" Like, first thing the kids even think in the city is they are so, so unfamiliar to the nature that first thing when they see something living, they want to kill or throw a stone or hurt. Or I'm like, "Oh, this is crazy."
Yeah, the animals just want to defend
Yes, Pramo.
territory. So yeah, this is definitely the the disadvantage of a big city.
Yes, Pramo.
Mm.
The Shudra class is less intelligent and they have no independence. They are meant for rendering sincere service to the three higher sections of the society. The Shudra class can attain all comforts of life simply by rendering service to the higher classes. It is especially enjoined that a Shudra should never bank money. As soon as the Shudras accumulate wealth, it will be misused for sinful activities in wine, woman, and gambling. Wine, woman, and gambling indicate that the population is degraded into less than a Shudra quality. So this is how it happens. The Shudras accumulate money. They should never bank money. So when they get money, they should use it for. It should be enough for their necessities. If they get extra money, all that is used for wine, woman, and gambling. The higher castes should always look after the maintenance of the Shudras, and they should provide them with old and used garments. A Shudra should not leave his master when the master is old and invalid, and the master should keep the servant satisfied in all respects. The Shudras must first of all be satisfied by sumptuous food and clothing before any sacrifice is performed. In this age, so many functions are held by spending millions, but the poor laborers is not sumptuously fed or given charity, clothing, etc. The laborers are thus dissatisfied and so they make agitation. Hmm. So they should not perform something before they have fed and given clothes to all the people. Like
Mm.
they're doing big things like some World Cup, like in the Saudi Arabia they had a big World Cup football. Like 10 years before the World Cup, they were already building the thing, using millions and billions on these poor laborers. They were bringing them, and no safety, no anything, no proper food feeding, little
Yeah,
salary,
yeah.
and so many
Mm.
died building that one event of football.
Yeah,
So this,
I saw the same thing in China. In
yes,
China, in Peak, they
yeah,
organized Olympic Games.
yes, yeah, yeah. I remember this.
Um, you remember this? And there
Yes,
was a lot of poor people in some ghetto, some very poor place, and they just tell those people to move, and they construct so big infrastructure, so big buildings, everything, and they don't care about poor people, they don't care about them. They just move them away and
yes, bro.
just build big things and organize the big Olympic game. And I think this is the way all the country are doing now.
Yeah,
Not only those, but when I was in China, it was like shocking because they really don't care. They
yeah.
really don't care. They just throw you away, and don't care about you. So yes, Prabhu, this is the main thing now. That's why Prabhupada said that in this Kali Yuga, all are Shudra. We are our government. They are Shudra, you know. All of them, the leader, all of them are Shudra. They don't have any qualification
Yes,
to, you
Prabhu.
know.
Yeah,
And
that
even if you
the
try to preach to
unlimited amount
them,
of food actually, if they did use the
mm,
money properly in feeding people.
yeah, definitely. Actually, this is quite simple actually to
Yes, Prabhu.
just feed people. You know, like they can do it. Lot of food are wasted
Yes,
every day. Tons and tons of food are wasted, just like that. So they can definitely feed the people, but the, even if they feed the people, it is not good because they have to offer it to Krishna first. Then,
yes,
so
Prabhu.
the qualification is not here, because there is no Brahmana. So the main thing is to revive this Brahmana culture. This is the whole point of Krishna consciousness. No, but it will not be easy. It's very hard,
Yes, Prabhu.
especially in those type of society. It degrades so much actually. How to do? This is the perfect system. This is the more I read about this, the more I think, yeah, this is the perfect system. But
Hare
how
Krishna,
to
dear
make them
Prabhus,
understand
please
it?
accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Amit Prabhu, please accept my
Thank
obeisances of Gracious Prabhupada.
you for joining,
Thank,
Prabhu.
yeah, thank you all.
The Shudras must first all be. Oh, we read that. The Varnas are, so to speak, classifications of different occupations, and ashram dharma is gradual progress on the path of self-realization. Both are interrelated, and one is dependent on the other. The main purpose of ashram dharma is to awaken knowledge and detachment. The brahmacharya ashram is the training ground of the prospective candidates. In this ashram, it is instructed that this material world is not actually the home of the living being. The conditioned souls under material bondage are prisoners of matter, and therefore, self realization is the ultimate aim of life. The whole system of ashram dharma is a means to detachment. One who fails to assimilate the spirit of detachment is allowed to enter into family life with the same spirit of detachment. Hmm. Therefore, one who attains detachment may at once adopt the fourth order, namely renounce and thus live on charity only, not to accumulate wealth, but just to keep body and soul together for ultimate realization. Household life is for one who is attached, and the Vanaprastha and Sannyas orders of life are those who are detached from material life. The Brahmacharya ashram is especially meant for training both the attached and detached. See, this last one is really nice.
Yes,
Prabhu, what does
Prabhu.
it really mean? Training both attached and detached.
Yes, Prabhu. If one is attached, see, because household life is for one who is attached. So if one is tend to
Okay.
become householder, still he should go to Brahmacharya ashram because it is meant for both, for those who are already attached and detached.
And detached means after completing 25 year of brahmacharya, they will continue it throughout life.
Yes, Prabhu. Detached means he is out of material life. He is not interested in family or money or anything.
Okay. So he'll continue the life of celibacy.
Yes, Prabhu. So this brahmacharya ashram is good for those who are interested in material life and those who are not interested in material life.
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, I listened to three lectures today. In that, like in two lectures, the same thing it was going on, like regarding importance of brahmacharya. Like it was Sachi Mata, love and affection towards Lord Chaitanya by Tattvavit Prabhu.
Yes,
So
Prabhu.
the same thing is reoccurring. And one more lecture I saw, and now here in reading session also. And I also think this too deeply. Was talking means the same thing is like God Shakti Prabhu told me. If like you are serious and sincere, your doubts will be cleared by Prabhupada only.
Yes,
And now
Prabhu.
I'm becoming more and more firm, Prabhu, regarding this. Like I should go to do join temple for a
All
fixed period
glories
of
to
time
Srila
firstly.
Prabhupada.
And Prabhu, one thing I realized also today that like Karthik Prabhu was also telling me, you prepare for a job and try to tell to whom I'm preparing this, that. And also, if you get a job near Pondicherry, previously I was asking. So that would be better. You can go and work. And telling parents, it is like after 2 years, you can tell anything. Now you should not think. But now, even I'm thinking little that like, I don't know, is it my sentiment or real thing? But like still, like, can I just after college just straight away go to temple for a minimum of 1 year or 1.5 year without any preparing or no without any trying for jobs. I may prepare but without applying for jobs, and after that temple life I can, if I like, go for jobs. But what kind of realization comes to my mind, that these all people should be educated, they should be given the words of Prabhupada as it is. And I write sometimes, today I didn't got time, but I'll write it definitely in few days. And
Yeah,
like
try to
my
call for
whole
some
day
time.
is just yearning for Krishna.
What, Prabhu?
Whole day is just yearning for Krishna. Like how can I get more and more time? Just after the class, I start hearing in this. I heard 3 lectures today, and
Prabhu, this
I'll read now before sleep, and I chanted also in the morning. I-
you want to read,
yeah,
Prabhu?
yes, Prabhu, I'll read.
You have still like 15 to 20 minutes.
Yes, Prabhu. दान धर्मान राजधर्मान मोक्ष धर्मान विभागशः स्त्री धर्मान भगवत धर्मान समास व्यास योगतः दान धर्मान, the acts of charity; raj dharman, pragmatic activities of the kings; moksha dharman, the acts of for salvation; vibhagashah, by divisions; Stri dharman, duties of women; bhagavat dharman, the acts of devotees; samas, generally; vyas, explicitly; yogatah, by means of. So what is pragmatic activities? Meaning of that? Dealing with things sensibly and realistically in a way that is based on practical rather than theoretical consideration. Okay. Means doing things just on in the surface level. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He then explained by divisions acts of charity, the pragmatic activities of a king, and activities for salvation. Then he described the duties of women and devotees both briefly and extensively. To give charity is one of the householder's main functions, and he should be prepared to give in charity at least 50% of his hard-earned money. A brahmachari or student should perform sacrifices, a householder should give charity, and a person in the retired life or in the renounced order should practice penances and austerities. Those are the general functions of all the ashrams or orders of life on the path of self realization. In the brahmachari life, the training is sufficiently imparted to understand that the world as property belongs to the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead. No one, therefore, can claim that to be the proprietor of anything in the world. Therefore, in the life of a householder, which is a sort of a license for sex enjoyment, one must give in charity for the service of the Lord. Everyone's energy is generated or borrowed from the reservoir of energy of the Lord. Therefore, the resultant actions of such an energy must be given to the Lord in the shape of transcendental loving service of Him for Him. As the rivers draw water from the sea through the clouds and again go down to the sea, similarly, our energy is borrowed from the supreme source, the Lord's energy, and it must return to the Lord. Wow, it's so beautiful. And we are just trying to steal it in the middle. If you're not devotees, uh, that is the perfection of our energy. The Lord, therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita, BG 9.27, says that whatever we do, whatever we undergo as penance, whatever we uh, where it is, whatever we sacrifice, whatever we eat, or whatever we give in charity must be offered to Him, the Lord. That is the way of utilizing our borrowed energy. When our energy is utilized in that way, our energy is purified from the contamination of material in- inebrities, and thus we become fit for our original natural service of natural life of service to the Lord. Rajadharma is a great science, unlike modern diplomacy for political supremacy. The kings are trained systematically to become munificent and not merely tax collectors. They were trained to perform different sacrifices only for the prosperity of the subjects. To lead the prajas to the attainment of salvation was a great duty of the king. The father, the spiritual master, and the king are not to become irresponsible in the matter of leading their subjects to the path of ultimate liberation from birth, death, disease, and old age. When these primary duties are properly discharged, there is no need of government of the people, by the people. In modern days, the people in general occupy the administration by the strength of manipulated votes, but they are never trained in the primary duties of the king, and that is also not possible for everyone. Under the circumstances, the untrained administrators play havoc to make the sub- subjects happy in all respects. On the other hand, these untrained administrators gradually become rogues and thieves and increase the taxation to finance a top heavy administration that is useless for all purposes. Actually, the qualified brahmanas are meant to give direction to the kings for proper administration in terms of the scriptures like the Manu Samhita, and administration in terms of the no, and Dharma Shastras of Parashar. A typical king is the ideal of the people in general. Uh, and if the king is pious, chivalrous, and munificent, the citizens generally follow him. Such a king is not a lazy, sensuous person living at the cost of the subjects, but alert always to kill thieves and dacoits. The pious kings were not merciful to dacoits and thieves in the name of nonsensical ahimsa. The thieves and dacoits were punished in an exemplary way so that in the future no one would dare commit such nuisances in an organized form. Such thieves and dacoits were never meant for administration as they are now. The taxation law was simple. There was no force, no encroachment. The king had a right to take 1/4 of the production made by the subject. The king had a right to claim a fourth of one's allotted wealth. One would never grudge to part with it because, due to the pious king and religious harmony, there was enough natural wealth, namely grains, fruits, flowers, silk, cotton, milk, jewels, minerals, etc., and therefore no one was materially unhappy. The citizens were rich in agriculture and animal husbandry, and therefore they had enough grains, fruits, and milk without any artificial needs of soaps and toilets, cinemas, and bars. Means so they will be taking 1/4 of the money, but it is being used in the service of praja and lord only, and that is why it returns back to them. But today they just take away our money, even if 1/4 or less or more, and don't do any real benefit.
Yes, Prabhu. They don't only take your money, they take also your time, and they also make you give a big debt that they can take your children's money also in the future.
Yes, they show very brilliant pieces of gold in the top, but within it is just rotten things, and not only money. They take out everything. Like, don't give justice to us. Like, so many heinous crimes are going on against for women and various things. Just can't describe.
Yes, Prabhu.
The king had to see that reserved energy of humanity was properly utilized. Human energy is not exactly meant for fulfilling animal propensities but for self realization. The whole government was specifically designed to fulfill this particular purpose. As such, the king had to select properly, uh, properly the cabinet ministers, but not on the strength of background. Voting background. The ministers, the military commanders, or even the ordinary soldiers were all selected by personal qualification, and the king had to supervise them properly before they were appointed to their respective posts. Okay, he will cross check again. The king was especially vigilant to see that tapasvis or persons who sacrificed everything for disseminating spiritual knowledge were never disregarded. They knew well that the Supreme Lord, personality of Godhead, uh, never tolerates any insult to his unalloyed devotees. Such tapasvis were trusted leaders even of the rogues and thieves who could never disobey the orders of tapasvis. The king would give special protection to illiterates, helpless, and widows of the state. Defense ministers were arranged previous to any attack by the enemies. The taxing process was easy and it was not meant for squandering, but for strengthening the reserve fund. The soldiers were recruited from all parts of the world and they were trained for special duties. As far as salvation is concerned, one has to conquer the principles of lust, anger, unlawful desires, avarice, and bewilderment. To get freedom from anger, one should learn how to forgive. One should not make plans. Uh, one should not make plans in order to be free from unlawful desires. By spiritual culture, one is able to conquer sleep. By tolerance, one can tolerance only one conquer desires and avarice. So, what is avarice? Extreme greed for wealth. Yes.
In French,
Disturbances.
it is the same word, the same, but we don't pronounce the same way, but it's the same word
What, Prabhu?
in French. In French, this is the same word.
Okay, okay.
Mm.
Disturbances from various diseases can be avoided by regulated diets. By self control, one can be free from false hopes, and money can be saved by avoiding undesirable association. By practice of yoga, one can control hunger, and worldliness can be avoided by culturing the knowledge of impermanence. Dizziness can be conquered by rising up, and false arguments can be conquered by factual ascertainment. Talkativeness can be avoided by gravity and silence, and by prowess, one can avoid fearfulness. Perfect knowledge can be obtained by self cultivation. One must be free from lust, avarice, anger, dreaming, etc., to attain actually the path of salvation. As far as the women class are concerned, they are accepted as a power of inspiration for men. As such, women are more powerful than men. Mighty Julius Caesar was conquered by a Cleopatra. Such powerful women are conquered by shyness, controlled by shyness. Therefore, shyness is important for women. Once this control valve is loosened, women can create havoc in society by adultery. Adultery means production of unwanted children, known as Varna Shankara, who, who disturb the world. The last item was taught by Bhishma Deva. This is the process of pleasing the Lord. We are all eternal servants of the Lord, and when we forget this essential part of our nature, we are put into the material conditions of life. The simple process of pleasing the Lord, for the householders especially, is to install the deity of the Lord at home. By concentrating on the deity, one may progressively go on with the daily routine work, worshipping the deity at homes, serving the devotee, hearing the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, residing in a holy place, and chanting the holy name of the Lord. Thus, the subject matter was explained by the grandfather to his grandchildren. This just encompasses everything, literally everything. So beautiful.
It's really nice purport.
Text 27, SB 1.2.27.
Or 28 next.
Now 28. Now, should we read Prabhu or not? Because this one, it is just like 3 verses covered. So long.
Yes, Prabhu, this is last one.
Okay, Prabhu. धर्मार्थ काम मोक्षांश्च सहोपायान् यथा मुने नानाख्यनेतिहासेषु वर्णयामांश तत्त्ववित् तत्त्ववित् प्रभु की जय।
Jai.
Dharma, occupational duties, artha, economic development, kama, fulfillment of desires, mokshan, ultimate salvation, cha, and saha, along with upayan, whatever it is, upayan means yatha, as it is, mune, O sages, nana, various, akhyan, by recitation of historical narrations, itihaseshu, in the histories, varna yamasa, described tattva with one who knows the truth. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Then he described the occupational duties of different orders and statuses of life, citing instances from history for when he was himself well acquainted with the truth. Purport, incidences mentioned in the Vedic literatures, such as the Puranas, Mahabharata, and Ramayana, etc., are factual historical narrations which took place sometime in the past, although not in any chronological order. Such historical facts, being instructive for ordinary men, were assorted with chronological reference. Besides that, they happen on different planets, in different universes, and thus the description of the narrations is sometimes measured by 3 dimensions. We are simply concerned with the instructive lessons of such incidences, even though they are not in orders by our limited range of understanding. Bhishmadeva described such narrations before Maharaj Yudhishthir in reply to his different questions. Okay, so means various kinds of uh, leelas by the Lord in all various kinds of universes. So
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, this is
this verse, what it is saying in essence, although not in chronological order, means these are just built to just. But Prabhu, how like actually Mahabharata? It is chronological, no? Firstly, Mahabharata happened, then oh wait, I am telling the opposite. Firstly, Ramayana happened, then Mahabharata. So like how it is not in chronological, we can say.
it's not always in chronological order. One book is in chronological order, but not that all of them are.
Okay, they are not.
Only important pastime were reported, not all. Only important one.
Okay, yes, when we say Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta, that means that from that infinite ocean of Hari Katha, we are just picking up a few gallons of water and reading and understanding. And these are the few gallons. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Puranas, 18 Puranas, Bhagavad Gita, everything.
And
Yes.
you know, Prabhu, for us, because we are less than the demigod. In the demigod upper planet, they can memorize much more than us. So they had much more verses. They are much more pastime than us. You know, so
Yes, so I heard something
actually,
that Ramayana
yeah,
verses we received very less. Demigods
yeah,
received much more.
because
Brahma received much more,
our
right?
memory is not good. We can't
Yes, that is.
memorize like demigod. So they have more actually, because they can study more and they can memorize more. We are less
So,
intelligent.
so Prabhu, like what Ramayana happened in this universe in which we are staying, that Ramayana is that much only which we can like memorize and understand. And other bigger universes, various crores and crores of words Ramayana would happen and that we can't understand. And those living beings in that universes, would they be understanding that or only the demigods would be understanding that way 10 times, 100 times larger Ramayana
Yeah, but
in way
Prabhu,
bigger universes?
first of all, you have to remember that Prabhupada said that Ramayana and Mahabharata is for less intelligent person. First of
Is it?
all.
It is a
Yes.
pastime.
Yeah, but Ramayana and Mahabharata is for woman, Shudra, and Vijabandhu. So less intelligent person, because they can't study the Bhagavad Gita, and they will not understand. And even Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So Prabhupada said
Yes,
the
Prabhu.
Mahabharata, Ramayana is for them.
Because I
Woman,
can understand,
um,
Prabhu, from Bhagavatam,
yeah,
hearing classes on Bhagavatam, and today I heard of Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is so core of bhakti. Like that is why it is said the PhD. It is, and Bhagavatam is the masters, and Bhagavad Gita is bachelors. So like it's like straight away it is being talked away in that literatures of like Bhagavatam and
above
like Chaitanya.
when you mature in your devotion, then above Śrīmad Bhagavatam, it's Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Yes, Prabhu.
So
It is.
this is the final.
Means Tattva Prabhu was telling it is in that Sachimata chapter only. Like she became very much saddened also by the renounce order of his son, her son. But afterwards, she also was happily letting him go because she don't want her son to not go and search for Krishna. And through that, she is teaching us all mothers in this universe that you should do the same. You should don't let your son like this is like family should not oppose when one goes to search the supreme truth of himself and Lord. This thing I learned, but this kind of families are hard to find.
Oh yes, definitely, especially in India.
Yes, Prabhu. It is just ironical. India, it is most hard to find, but India should be the capital of spiritual knowledge.
Yeah, but now India is so confused. You see, this morning there was a Prabhu. He said Lord Shiva is the supreme.
What, Prabhu?
Yeah, this morning in the group there was a Prabhu he
Yes,
was
Prabhu, I
in,
saw.
I think he was in India, I think. Because he
In
said Lord
Wideway.
Shiva is the supreme. They are so confused and lost because
And
they
Prabhu,
think they know everything.
you gave me
Hmm?
lecture. I heard that to the end, and I am now actually firmly convinced much more because in Bhagavad Gita he himself tells that one shlok also it is there. It is not in lecture, I think, that he is parataram nanya kind of. It means nobody is beyond him, and various examples we can see. Uh, like he's told demigods, if you worship, I'll give intelligence to you to worship them, and he's the root of all. It's given in I think Bhagavatam. I don't know. So but one thing, Prabhu, I can't understand that why then in Puranas it is written. You shared one shloka, I think, that people are being moving and non-moving objects were being illusioned by these Puranas. So why it is then in the first place written that Shiva is the supreme in this, Shakti is the supreme in this, then this like
But
it should be
Prabhu,
just
you have
only
to
Srimad
understand.
Gita,
Yeah,
Prabhu.
but you have to understand Purana through the eyes of a spiritual master. You can't go to those books by yourself with your poor intelligence and give some speculation. You can't do
Yes, Prabhu.
that.
As we understand
They
Gita
are all lost.
under
They are
Prabhupada.
all lost because they don't recognize they don't have some spiritual master, and all the spiritual master that they recognize is bogus. And this Prabhu, he said this Prabhu, this person, this offender, because he said that Srila Prabhupada is like a normal, is human being. And
He told
immediately I
today
block
what he
him,
joined.
Immediately I block him because I ask him,
This
do
is
you know
not
who
the
is?
way, Prabhu. This
Hmm?
offending nature and becoming that what to say, arrogant. We should be
Yeah, but
submissive. Like I, Prabhu, I was way curious. I will learn everything. From the childhood when as soon as I was born, after 5 6 years, I was so curious. What is this world? I want to see how the sun rises and falls in a so beautiful
not
manner.
all is like that.
Everything that happens. So I went when my misery phase was there. I started reading Gita and I picked up Prabhupada's Gita only, none other Gita, because it was so famous. I was seeing this Gita only everywhere. What is this Gita? So I remembered the picture, Prabhu. I searched Gita. This is the picture. I went there. Who has written this? AC Bhakti. I don't know. Swami Prabhupada. So I recognized by this. Then I start to see the reviews and very nice. This that. Like, I went to some Gaudiya Math temple. I bought the Gita. Started reading. Like I read like in the starting. I read 10-15 minutes a day. Yeah, and start to understand everything. And the seed of devotional service it was getting planted. And now I have to grow it under the guidance
Yeah,
of the most
I
devotee,
understand.
most merciful
Not
persons.
not everybody will be like this, huh? Because they are
Yeah.
so puffed up by their so-called knowledge.
But Prabhu, can you tell me, like, if we, like, let's suppose, like, if we go to approach Srila Prabhupada now, and like, has he told anything? But Prabhu, why it is written in Shiva Puran that Vishnu emerged from Shiva, he gave birth to Vishnu, and in Narsim Avatar Leela
No,
also,
it's not.
he defeated
You
Narsim
know,
Dev. Shiva is supreme.
there are so
Why,
many
Prabhu?
things that you, there are so many things that people don't understand because they don't go to the right sources. They just go to get cheated because
Yeah, they
most of
want to be
them
cheated, Prabhu.
are just want to satisfy their senses. They don't want to control any senses. They just want to satisfy their senses. They want wealth. They want better life. They want some wife. They want, they just want some material thing, Prabhu. So
Yes, Prabhu.
when in your heart, Krishna is in your heart. He know when you are sincere, he will give you a spiritual master. He will give you a sincere, bona fide spiritual master. But if you are not sincere and you want to be cheated, you will be cheated, Prabhu, and you will speculate and you will think, oh, yes, here and there, Shiva, there. No. I was in Reunion Island. Here, most of them are worshippers of Shiva, um,
Okay.
Molunga, um, Kali, Hanuman, and so many demigods, Ganesh, so many. But most of them are worshippers of Shiva. Why I didn't, worship Shiva?
Prabhu is so
When
easy
I
to please.
worship Shiva, when I worship Shiva, I was chanting Om Namah Shivaya. I was just chanting the
Prabhu, I
mantra.
was also
And where Shiva lead me? He lead me to a devotee from ISKCON who give me the Maha Mantra.
Prabhu,
Because
similar
in
story
my
with me
heart,
also, Prabhu. I
because in
also
my
was
heart,
1 year
yeah, but
chanting
because in my
Om Shiva.
heart, Krishna knows that, okay, he don't want those material things. He just want, to inquire, atato brahma jigyasa, inquiring
Yes,
about the
Prabhu.
absolute truth. I was
Who am
searching,
I? Who is
Prabhu.
the God?
But if you are not searching for the absolute truth, you just search for some wife, some wealth, some money, some sense gratification. You will be cheated. That's all. That's all. You see. So this is the whole thing. In Purana is not like there is no contradiction. Depends on time in the circumstances. There are some, Shiva. He came at a certain time to teach, to not
Yes, Prabhu.
believe in God.
Adi
You see.
Shankaracharya.
So yeah, so if you are
But by the order of Vishnu, Prabhu,
if you are reading
he
those
ordered him to
Purana,
go.
if you are reading those Purana, yeah, but if you are reading those Purana, you will be misguided. Because you will be misguided. Why? Because you are not sincere, Prabhu. Why you didn't end up, going to those Purana? Because you are sincere, Prabhu. In your heart, Krishna guide you. He guide you to the true source, bona fide. You
Yes.
know.
I was
So for
also
those who are not
searching
sincere,
Gatha
they will be
Gautam.
lost.
Yes.
That's all. Yeah. So this Prabhu, it's the same thing. He is not sincere. He just blaspheme the pure devotee. He just insult Prabhupada.
Yes,
So
Prabhu.
that's why Krishna will put him in some deep illusion. It's impossible for him to make progress like that.
Prabhu, we
Because
showed
when the
him the
pure...
verses, exact verses
Hmm?
in which it is written
I
Krishna
show
is
him so
supreme,
many
but still
verses, Prabhu.
he is not getting it.
It's no use, waste of time. Just waste of time. Just like when His Grace Sundar Gopal Prabhu will go there and show them so many verses, and then they still don't understand. Because they don't want
So
to
caught up
know
in mind.
that, Prabhu. They are in darkness. Totally.
And Prabhu, Shiva is
This is
the lord of those people who are ignorant, I think. So Shiva also wants that you come to me without any desire, and I lead you to Vishnu Bhakti. Like actually, I was also similar to something. Like 1 year or so, I was chanting this Om Namah Shivaya. Some stotram is there of Shiva.
Yeah,
When I was
because
in
he's the
meditation.
greatest Vaishnava. So if you don't have any motive, like I don't want some wealth, I just want to know what is the absolute truth, he will guide you, because he's the greatest Vaishnava. So
Yes,
you will
Prabhu.
get his mercy. But if you come to him for some material opulence, then he will misguide you. He will, you know, throw you in complete darkness. No, no, no. Then you are lost. Just like this person. He
Yes, Prabhu.
just some nonsense. This is nonsense. I waste my time. I just try to. I yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I just try to give some verse, and then
But
I notice
Prabhu,
that,
like
oh no, I'll
Vaishnavas
just
are the
waste my time.
most merciful. So
Yeah, but
Shiva should be the
I
topmost
should not
merciful.
be merciful to envious, because when he offended Prabhupada, I was very angry at him actually,
Yes, Prabhu.
because
I agree
like,
actually.
you don't know anything. You just say he's normal being. Like, who are you to say
Yes,
like
yes.
this? But it's okay. I just block him because there's no point. He's not even. I don't see him physically. There's no point. I can't argue with him.
So
So
Prabhu, like
it's like this.
Krishna wrote the Puranas only to kind of satisfy their desires. Like he tells, don't go there, don't go there, don't go there 10 times. But if they go, okay, go there. So that's why
Yeah.
you go to want to desire this good wife, go worship Uma. Go want to desire wealth, go worship Kuber. So like this, various Puranas he have written in the form of Vyasadeva. I think it
Yeah,
is.
because at least it will take some time for them, but it's for their good also. It's for their good. Even if they worship some demigods, they can perform some pious activity. It's better
Yeah, some or the
to
other Prabhu, like
worship demigods.
they will be little
They
bit
will,
getting up in the spiritual. That is why
Yeah.
Puranas are written, I think.
yes, Prabhu, they
They,
will be in Vedic line.
yeah,
But
they will accumulate some pious activities, and then they will go to high planetary, high, high planets. But the main
yes,
thing is
according to
that
their desire,
if you are
they
not
will go to
sincere,
that same planet.
yeah, if you are not sincere, you will be misled. So that's all. Those
And
Purana,
so,
there are no, there is no contradiction in them. It's just that, you know, those who want to be cheated will be cheated. That's all. This is not something more than that. They just want to, some satisfy their senses. That's all. They don't
yes,
really inquire. If you really inquire, you will. When we say, oh, you just read this Bhagavad Gita, you will understand. You will go and read, because the mood is not the same when you try to inquire. You are more submissive, you're more humble, and then you will try to read. Okay, he said I have to read. I will read. Oh, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Okay, I will try to understand, and when you will go there, then Prabhupada will teach you. He will preach to you. And then if you are very sincere, then you will understand. But
yes, Prabhu.
they don't want to listen. They don't want to
Prabhu, this
read.
is
They
the
just...
qualification. This is the minimum qualification. Like we enter into a college by a good mark. Below that mark, we can't. So a good level of humbleness, decency, and arrogancy should not be there. It should be zero.
Yeah,
Then
it
only
depends
we
of
can.
our past deeds. It means if we were sinful, then perhaps we will not uh, very humble. And
Yes, Prabhu.
so it
Means
depends.
everything is done by Krishna only. Whatever my desire to come
Yeah.
into to start
Yes.
reading
Yeah.
Bhagavad Gita, in that miserable phase, like I heard that Gita solves all problems. You should read that many a times. So that motivated me, and I went to this. And that's for sure Krishna sitting in my heart. He had
Yes,
done this,
Prabhu,
motivated me.
that also motivate me. I have listened many times. This Gita is so important.
Yes, Prabhu.
So never mind. It's okay. Actually, Prabhu, just like Akashji Prabhu shared, yesterday he was not satisfied when he compiled all this Purana, all this thing.
Yes, Prabhu. Same thing
Hmm?
I am thinking. Is it Prabhu real? Like
Yeah.
given in Shastras, he was not satisfied, and then he
Yeah.
got an order. I think from Narad Muni. You should
Yeah.
write Mahapuran or
Why?
Śrīmad
Why?
Bhāgavatam.
Why? Because actually, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the essence of all the Veda.
It is the sweetest nectar, Prabhu.
Is the essence of all the Purana, all the Veda. It's the essence. Bhagavad Gita is the same thing. So, you are fool, if you don't understand, then what you
They're
do,
not reading the essence of all and just trying
No,
to
because they're not
go into
pious
Puranas
enough,
without
Prabhu.
spiritual master.
Bhagavad Gita 7:20-28, they are not pious. Hmm? You have to accumulate some punya to be able to do so. Otherwise, you can't. You just can't. You will always be like this. Hmm? And Krishna will put you into the darkest region of hell. Bhagavad Gita 16:19 and 20. Hmm? So it's like this, bro. What to do? I try to sometimes to give some verse, but then when I see that they don't want to read or even listen, I just block them. Or I try
Prabhu,
to kick him out, but I don't know. I can't. I need to check my phone. I don't know why I can't do that because he was become very offensive, and I don't like that in the group.
yes, Prabhu.
So it's okay,
Prabhu, one
Prabhu.
thing I
Now it's
liked,
time to finish
one verse
also.
I liked very much. Can you explain that? That in that it
Uh,
was said that Lord Brahma was after scrutinizingly studying all the Puranas, as given by the Lord, he understood no, Krishna is the supreme Lord. Prabhu, like then we can't question if it is true. Then
why is it not true?
it can't be
Brahma
true,
is the
Prabhu.
creator of the whole universe. Mm?
Yes, Prabhu.
And
He
he
has
has
got the sharpest brain.
he had how many head, Prabhu?
Four
How
heads,
many
Prabhu.
head? Yeah, 4 head.
Four.
And he's the
And
creator,
also, Prabhu,
Mm?
he has not a material body. What Sundar Gopal Prabhu was telling in one lecture, he has not a material body. His body is very much elevated, just below Vaikuntha planets. Like Vaikuntha people are Sachidananda, but Brahma's body is, we can say, like 95% of Sachidananda. So it is kind of a spiritual brain. So it is much more effective and strong and in understanding spiritual things because we
And
have material
Prabhu,
brain.
there is a description of trillion-headed Brahman Chaitanya Chaitamrit they was coming to bow down before Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. I think in Little Krishna movie also various Brahmas of all universes with different heads they come and bow down before Krishna. In that, like he kind of theft away all the cowherd boys, and then Krishna
Yes,
expanded in.
yes, after Aghasur Leela.
What, Prabhu?
Aghasur Leela after that.
Asur Leela. Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, so that's all, Prabhu. Lord Brahma, he said that Krishna is the supreme. Lord Shiva said, all the demigods said, Arjuna said,
Yes, Prabhu. What
Vyasa,
more we want?
Narada, all the sages said. Shankaracharya also said Narayana is the supreme. What to do, Prabhu? They don't listen. So that's all, I don't waste my time.
Prabhu, they
That's
want
all.
material enjoyment. That is why Puranas are there. If Puranas had not been there, they will say that, oh, this devotee, what this tapasya life and this, that. We want a beautiful girl. We want a beautiful house. How can we get that? So, so for that, Krishna mercied them. Okay, go. You be in illusion. You worship Uma. Get a good wife. You worship Shiva. You worship this, Kuber, this, that, Ganesh. And you be happy also in your own illusion. Is it, Prabhu?
Yeah, but you'll be happy, but then, some person just like this guy, he was so confused. He said, oh, actually, not only Shiva, but Krishna is the supreme, whatever. There is more, there is 2 or 3 supreme. I said, how is it possible? When you say supreme, there is only one
God is one,
supreme.
Prabhu.
Yeah, but he said there is more supreme, like
In every
Shiva is
religion,
the
it is called.
supreme. Yeah, so this is very confused. He is very disturbed, very confused. Mm.
How
That's
can
why his
there
grace
be any
Sundar
fire?
Gopal Prabhu said, confusion, how this, he said this, confusionism, this religion. There is a Chinese religion, I forgot this.
And God Shakti Prabhu, like we can see also through the effect of it, Prabhu. Like what I can see in the last 1 month and the last 1 year, it's not much effective, but in this last 1 month or 2 weeks, I'm experiencing so good things, realization, and I'm feeling peaceful, calm. And previously, I was taking too much tension of that job thing, money thing, how I will earn this, that family. But now I'm thinking about how to elevate myself and more spiritually get realized so that one day by mercy of the Lord, I may join him, like I may serve him full time without any offending any parents or anything in society, just worshipping and serving Krishna and all the living beings through him. Like, because if we love him, we love everyone. So these things, how it came to my mind, if he is not the Supreme Lord, it's just not digestible to me. Like, people don't practice, they don't read submissively, and they just go on debates. This is not the sense. Previously, also Shastra were happening, but it was happening in a very decent way. These people, what to say, bro?
No, it's okay. This is the material world. It's like this. Not everyone will come to Krishna consciousness, Prabhu.
Yes, bro.
Not everyone will come.
Prabhupada told 1 moon.
Uh,
We just need 1 moon.
Yeah.
Amit Prabhu, where is you from India?
Yes, Prabhu. I am in Rourkela, Odisha, India.
Oh,
Odisha, the same place where we have Puri.
yes, bro.
But I had gone only once in my life when I was in first standard, I think.
So I think we have to read the Shastaka.
Yes, Prabhu. We took 10, half an hour talking after
Okay,
reading.
we'll start the Sikshastakam prayer.
चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयहतैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मा स्नापनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम्.
नामकारि बहुधान्य सर्वशक्ति तत्रार्पिता नियमित स्मरणेन काल एतादृशकितौ कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमिदस्मिहा जनिनानुराग
Trinadapi sunicena tarorapi sahisnuna manina manadena kirtaniya sada hari.
नदनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनि ईश्वरे भवदात् भक्तिरहेतु गीतये
अयि नन्दतनुज किङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कज स्थितधूलि सदृशां विचिन्तय नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदारुद्धया गिरा पुलकैरनिचितं वपुः कदा तव नाम गृहणे भविष्यति
You got it.
युगायुधं मे Yes, bro, you can. Yes, bro, you can. Daring.
Oh, please continue, Prabhu.
Prabhu, both of you read Prabhu. It will be much more good.
Prabhu, you can read.
युगायुधं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रवृत्सायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे
अश्लिष्य वा पादरतं पिनष्टु मामदर्शनान् मर्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पदो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरः. Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to human living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful woman, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other, I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up and when will my hairs in my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
O Govinda, feeling your separation, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he should remain even if he handles me roughly in his embrace or makes me broken hearted by not being present for me. He is completely free to do anything and everything now, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.
Ribo Sri Siksastakam ki jai.
Yeah.
Bahujannma Karaya Dishavana Kirtan Tabutana Paya Krishna Pade Premadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many birds, he will not get the love of Godhead that is the ultimate goal of this chanting.
To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy names of the Lord.
Second offense, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu.
Third offense, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master.
Fourth
To
offense,
blaspheme
to
the Vedic
blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of Vedic origin. Sorry, bro.
Fifth offense, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. Sixth offense, to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord.
Seventh offense, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord.
Eighth offense, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as spiritual activities. Karma Kanda.
Ninth offense, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name.
10th offense, to not have complete faith in the chanting
Yes,
of
bro.
to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. Let us offer our humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls.
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कुची वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय
जय,
श्रील
जय गौर
प्रभुपाद की जय।
प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल।